Imagine trying to explain America to someone who has never lived inside of America. Not explaining its power, not its wealth, but its purpose. There is a famous line often attributed to Oscar Wilde. He once joked that America is the only country that went from barbarism to decadence without civilization in between. He meant it as a joke, of course, but jokes tend to survive because they touch something uncomfortable. At first glance, the quote sounds dismissive, almost arrogant, but it raises a deeper question. What if America was never meant to be a civilization, in the traditional sense at all? What if it was designed as something else entirely? The founding of the United States of America was not just a political break. It was a philosophical rejection of civilization as it had existed before. The founders had studied history closely. They understood empires, monarchies, aristocracies, and religious states, and they believed civilization itself produced hierarchy, inherited privilege, prejudice, stagnation, and endless conflict. Their solution was not to improve civilization, it was to replace it. To understand this, we need to look at a man who studied America before it fully understood itself, Alexis de Tocqueville, a French observer who visited the United States in the early 19th century and wrote Democracy in America. It remains the most influential book ever written about the American system. And what's often missed is this. Tocqueville was not celebrating America, he was warning the world about it. Tocqueville recognized America as something new, the first large-scale democratic middle-class society in history, not ruled by kings, not dominated by nobles, not unified by religion or tradition. Instead, built around equality, mobility, and individual opportunity. On paper, this sounded like progress, of course, but Tocqueville saw the hidden cost. Middle-class societies create a unique psychological condition. In older civilizations, if you were born poor, you stayed poor. If you were noble, your status remained. There was certainty. In a middle-class system, you can rise quickly and fall just as fast. Status must be earned repeatedly, and that creates anxiety. In America, nothing is guaranteed. Your wealth, your position, your relevance, everything must be maintained. This produces competition, obsession with self-improvement, accumulation, control, not as a choice, but as survival. This is why figures like Benjamin Franklin matter. His obsession with productivity, discipline, simplicity, and constant achievement was not virtue for its own sake. It was insurance. Insurance against falling back into irrelevance. Middle-class anxiety demands constant motion. Tocqueville feared what would happen when this system scaled, which is today. He predicted a society that would become atomized, uniform, mediocre. Atomized means individuals trapped in their own private bubbles. Uniform means people thinking alike to avoid social punishment. And mediocre just means greatness discouraged by conformity. Just look around. If that description sounds familiar, it should. It describes the modern world almost perfectly. Not just America, the world America shape. Tocqueville noticed something unsettling. Democracies don't produce many great individuals, not because talent disappears, but because conformity suppresses deviation. When everyone believes the system works, questioning it becomes social heresy. Great individuals don't rise, they are flattened. Look at who America elevates. Not generals, not philosophers, not statesmen, business figures. Inventors, entrepreneurs, industrialists. Business figures. Elon Musk, for example. Success replaces virtue as the highest ideal. In older civilizations, life had a defined role. You existed to serve a god, a king, the people, a tradition. In America, meaning is privatized. You must invent it yourself. For many, that becomes unbearable. When meaning disappears, consumption fills the gap. Citizens become consumers. Human beings become consumers. Purpose becomes purchasing power. Sacrifice becomes obsolete. This is the shift Tocqueville feared the most. Tocqueville imagined a new kind of tyranny, not violent, not brutal, soft. A system that manages people's comfort while eroding their agency. A population endlessly chasing small pleasures while surrendering responsibility. When people become consumers first, citizens second, something breaks. Freedom turns performative. Democracy becomes procedural, and real power concentrates elsewhere. America solved the problems of civilization by turning society into a game. Rules instead of traditions, markets instead of identity, law instead of hierarchy. The game promised fairness, transparency, and reward. Play well and you win. But as you may know, that is not the case, especially nowadays. This model was incredibly effective. It allowed mass immigration, diversity, rapid innovation, global expansion. Anyone could join, all they had to do was play. But of course, all of these achievements, or most of them, are focused on one perspective of life, which is the material life. All of these achievements have been achieved from a materialistic point of view, and that is a dangerous game to play. And of course, every game produces winners, and eventually winners accumulate everything. When inequality grows too large, the game stops feeling fair. People don't quit because they're lazy, they quit because the rules no longer reward effort. This is when nostalgia emerges. People don't miss poverty. They miss meaning, they miss sacrifice, they miss knowing who they are and what is expected of them. Movements that promise restoration gain power, not because they are coherent, but because they offer an alleged sense of belonging. Make America Great Again is not about policy. It's just another phase of the empire, of the game. Because America cannot fully become a civilization, and it cannot abandon the game, because in essence it's a game. That contradiction sits at the core of its instability, and we are approaching the end of the cycle. When the game loses credibility, productivity drops, risk-taking collapses, innovation slows, the economy weakens not from collapse, but disengagement. America didn't fail to build a civilization by accident. It rejected one on purpose. What we are witnessing here, you can call it collapse if you want, but the truth is this was the plan all along. If this helps connect some of the deeper structural patterns behind modern America, explore the other videos on my channel. Let me know in the comments, do you think this system is over? Or is just a bad moment in American history? This is the Real American Economy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.